most important position in the sport. We obviously spent a lot of time with Shedeur throughout the process. He's highly accurate, can play well from the pocket, very productive college career, and we felt like it wasn't necessarily the plan going into the weekend to select two quarterbacks, but as we talk about, we do believe in best player available. We do believe in positional value, and we didn't necessarily expect him to be available in the fifth round, and so we love adding competition to every position room and adding him to compete with the guys that are already in there. We felt like that was the appropriate thing to do. So, with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, Andrew, this is first for you. Can you just, seems like sort of a blockbuster move for you guys to make at this point, and then also when we saw your guys' reaction in the war room, it just didn't look necessarily exuberant. So I don't know what we were seeing, but maybe you can explain that, and then also, how did this happen?
Yeah, I think we're probably just tired from the weekend.
Well, when they show those clips, it's not timed up to exactly the right
when
time.
We're actually
so I wouldn't. Don't read too much into that.
Can you just explain? This is a pretty big deal after everything that happened with Shedeur, this epic free fall that he had. How did this happen, and what was the thinking behind it?
Yeah, I just say the biggest thing for us, we live by our board. We felt like he was a good, solid prospect at the most important position. We felt like it got to a point where he was probably mispriced, relative to the draft. Really the acquisition cost was pretty light, and it's a guy that we think can outproduce his draft slot. So I wouldn't say it's any more than that. Mary Kay, I think obviously Shedeur has kind of grown up in the spotlight. But our expectation is for him to come in here and work and compete. Nothing's been promised. Nothing will be given. So I may hesitate to characterize it as a blockbuster. That's not necessarily how we thought of the transaction. But we are excited to work with him.
But isn't a circus going to come along with this pick, even if it's not intentional? It seems everything follows him.
I'll go. Our guys understand, Jeff, when you're in the building, we're here to work. We don't pay much attention to what's on the outside. We know we've spent a lot of time with Shedeur. We know what he's about. He's coming in here to work just like all of our other players.
For both of you, Kevin, AB, either one of you, what are the biggest maybe misconceptions about Shedeur's game in terms of the way he plays the quarterback position, traits, that sort of thing?
I can't really speak on what other people think. I can describe how we view him. We view him as a highly accurate pocket passer. He does a really good job of protecting the ball. He has enough of the physical characteristics, whether it's arm strength or mobility. Like all young players, there are things to improve. I think probably much has been said about the number of sacks he's taken. Some of that is environment, and some of that is his improvement on his end, for sure. But he has probably a little bit more of a, call it retro or classic style of play. Again, I can't speak to how others view him.